Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan. So today I was looking at StarWars.com and I found a biography of Kylo Ren. So I started reading it, and one section about when Kylo Ren kills Han really caught my eye. Let me read it for you. Kylo faced his father inside the First Order's Starkiller base and struck Han down with his lightsaber. But this shocking act of patricide didn't make the former Ben Solo feel stronger. Somehow, he felt weaker. That is super interesting to me. See, I always thought it was Chewbacca's bowcaster that made Kylo Ren much weaker, and eventually led to his defeat at the hands of the inexperienced Rey. After all, a bowcaster is the Wookiee equivalent to a railgun. Look, this is what happens when a normal person gets hit by a bowcaster.
You okay? Wow.
Ouch. But then I started to think about it. Dark side Force wielders use anger and pain to fuel their connection with the Force. So in theory, wounds that aren't mortal can actually make a Darksider stronger. You can even see Kylo punching his own wound in order to tap into his anger. But it doesn't really work. He's easily defeated by Rey. He even looks sloppy and unfocused during this battle, almost as if something is occupying his mind. About a year ago, I read the Force Awakens canon novel. It's what the script for the movie was created from, and it features additional dialogue and information about pivotal scenes in the movie. I'm going to read a few additional lines from this novel so we can really see what's going on in Kylo Ren's mind.
Take off that mask.
Han's tone was a mix of command and empathy.
You don't need it. Not here. Not with me.
What do you think you'll see if I do take it off?
Han moved forward slightly.
The face of my son.
Ren's reply was replete with pity and anger.
Your son is gone. He was weak and foolish, like his father. So I destroyed him.
Replete with pity and anger, Kylo felt bad for himself, and he is still in many ways upset about his childhood. I joke a lot about this in the skits we do. Kylo Ren is extremely relatable to my generation because he's a millennial, and he's suffering from teenage angst. We know that Han wasn't around all the time when Ben was a kid, and while Leia was busy rebuilding a galaxy, Han was spending his time being a racing pilot and an owner of a shipping company. Legitimate shipping company. And around 24 years after the Battle of Yavin, it became public knowledge that Leia and her son Ben were relatives of Darth Vader. Needless to say, that drew a lot of negative attention to the Solo family and created a lot of tension between Leia and Han. And to make matters worse, Ben found out that Leia had purposely kept this information from him. And that is when Snoke starts targeting Ben, using the young Padawan's own feelings of abandonment and mistrust against him. And you clearly see this in the novelization.
That's what Snoke wants you to believe.
Han was saying. He wasn't pleading, just stating a fact.
But it's not true. My son is still alive. I'm looking at him. Right now.
Ren's eyes blazed.
No! The Supreme Leader is wise. He knows me for who I am, and who I can become. He knows you for what you really are, Han Solo. Just a small-time thief and smuggler.
Leia and Han both saw a lot of Anakin Skywalker in Kylo, and Kylo would go on to worship his dead grandfather's half-melted helmet. But in reality, these two were extremely different. Anakin grew up as a slave on Tatooine. Kylo Ren grew up as the son of two famous heroes of the rebellion. Anakin lost his mother as a teen, and Kylo Ren had abandonment and trust issues with his parents. Anakin had visions that his wife would die in the near future and finally turn to the dark side in desperation. Kylo Ren felt alone and desired someone to give him attention. Anakin's pain and emotions were real and deeply built around his character by his past experiences. His turn to the dark side was inevitable and fueled by a very pure source of dark emotions that were built up from an entire lifetime of suffering. Kylo Ren's anger and emotions seem trivial in comparison, which is why he is unable to properly draw from the dark side. and he's constantly struggling to keep the light side at bay.
I feel it again. The pull to the light.
Kylo Ren knows that he will eventually have to confront his father, and he knows that it will be an important test to see if he can resist the temptations of the light side. And even though he kills Han, where's the triumph, the celebration for finally succeeding? Instead, we see shock on his face, a hint of sadness and remorse. As a matter of fact, if Chewie hadn't shot him, he probably would have collapsed and started crying. Here's another line from the novel that describes his inner turmoil. Stunned by his own action, Kylo Ren fell to his knees. Following through on the act ought to have made him stronger, a part of him believed. Instead, he found himself weakened. In Force Awakens, Han Solo's character does not parallel the Han Solo in A New Hope. Instead, he parallels Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's Han who finds the powerful Force user on a desert planet, and it's Han who must knowingly sacrifice his own life in order to implant seeds of hope in the future. When Snoke finds out that Starkiller Base is about to be destroyed, he tells Commander Hux that it's time to begin Kylo Ren's final training. But what state of mind will Kylo be in? Will he be damaged like Anakin after his duel with Obi-Wan and become a cold killing machine, or will he start to turn back towards the light side? I believe that there's a greater chance that the latter will happen. Even though Kylo Ren has killed Han Solo, there's still one person that he has love and compassion for, and that's his mom, Leia. There's one final section from the novel that I want to share with you guys, and I think it was left out of the film by J.J. Abrams because it's way too obvious what the writer is trying to do.
It's too late.
He said.
No, it's not.
Halfway across the walkway now, Han continued to move forward.
Never too late for the truth. Leave here with me. Come home.
Without the slightest trace of malice or deception, he cast a dagger.
Your mother misses you.
A strange sensation touched the younger man's cheeks, something long forgotten. Dampness, tears. When Kylo Ren asks his father, "Will you help me?" it's one of the most powerful lines in the movie. It can mean so many different things. From one angle, it can be interpreted as Kylo being deceptive and luring his father into a death trap. But after reading the novel, you get a very clear sense that he's crying out for help. Now he has real, raw emotions, something he was sorely lacking before. But instead of anger, the emotion he now has is regret. And regret will lead to contemplation, and contemplation will lead to understanding, and understanding can lead to compassion. And the person that's always seen that compassion inside of Ben is Leia, and she'll be a very important part of Kylo Ren's return to the light side. While the rest of the galaxy will hate him for what he's done, his mother never will, because mothers are bound to unconditionally love their children. And after all, Kylo is a Skywalker, and Skywalkers always return to the light. And that's my theory, guys. By killing Han Solo, Kylo Ren has severely weakened his connection with the dark side. And whether it's by episode 8 or episode 9, Kylo Ren will eventually redeem himself. But let me know what you guys think. Poke some holes in my theory. Do you think it'll come true? And if you guys are interested in learning more about the Force Awakens novel, we read the entire book and we did a deep analysis of the novel. We've also included all the Easter eggs and deleted scenes. Plus, I kind of look like an Asian Wolverine in that video. If that interests you in any way, go check it out. I'll put a link somewhere, maybe here. But anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this theory. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification button. And as usual, if you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.